They trusted him with their lives. Then they put him in chains. For years, Superman stood between Earth and annihilation. He ended wars before the first shot was fired. He saved cities that never knew how close they came to ashes. He never conquered. He never demanded worship. He only served. So why did they arrest him? Was it because he failed them, or because he was too powerful to predict? When fear replaces gratitude, who decides what justice truly means? And what happens when the one sworn to protect the world is forced to choose between submission and survival? They called it law. They called it security. They called it necessary. But what if they were wrong? What if, in that underground chamber, pushed beyond every limit, Superman crossed a line no hero should ever cross? What if he killed? And if a god can be shattered, what do you imagine happens to the world that broke him? The world once believed Superman belonged to everyone. He appeared when catastrophe struck and vanished before anyone could offer proper thanks. Earthquakes halted in seconds. Missiles tumbled harmlessly into oceans. Fires died around him as though afraid to keep burning. People slept peacefully knowing he existed, knowing that somewhere beyond the clouds, someone was watching over them. But safety carries a price. The more Superman rescued the world, the more the world began asking questions it did not want answered. He moved faster than any weapon, struck harder than any army, and remained untouched by age. No government could command him. No legislation could bind him. He helped because he chose to help. That choice made humanity restless. At first, the fear stayed quiet. Experts spoke in measured words on evening broadcasts. Analysts discussed containment protocols and probability assessments. They smiled while they spoke, but their eyes betrayed the truth. No one understood what to do with a being who could end civilization simply by changing his mind. Superman heard the debates, but refused to interfere. He believed fear would fade once people remembered who he truly was. He believed actions spoke louder than accusations. Every life saved felt like evidence that trust could still survive. He was wrong. Fear does not diminish when ignored. It grows roots. Governments began exchanging intelligence in secret. Militaries compared tactical analyses. Scientists ran simulations they never intended to publish. In every projection where Superman stopped helping, or worse, turned against humanity, the outcome was identical. Earth lost. Not gradually, not with noble resistance. Instantly, that truth became unbearable to accept. The world had conquered enemies before. It had endured invasions, wars, and catastrophes. But Superman was different. He was not an external threat. He lived among them. He smiled at them. He could hear every decision being made and choose to do nothing about it. That terrified them beyond reason. A new law emerged almost overnight. It spoke of accountability and shared governance. It promised equilibrium and protection. It never mentioned Superman directly, but everyone understood who it targeted. The world celebrated. Superman did not. He watched crowds cheer beneath him and felt something heavy settle in his chest. Not fury, not betrayal, something colder. Recognition. Humanity did not despise him. Humanity feared him, and fear had finally triumphed. When the invitation arrived, he accepted without hesitation. A formal summit, a chance to speak, a chance to ease the growing tension. He believed dialogue could still matter. The meeting location was buried deep underground, shielded, reinforced, constructed for something far stronger than any human being. Superman noticed everything the instant he arrived. Walls reinforced with lead, red light panels concealed in the ceiling, emergency seals engineered to lock inward, not outward. He understood the truth immediately. This was not a conversation. Still, he remained. Leaders spoke cautiously, selecting each word as though it might detonate if mishandled. They discussed boundaries, responsibility, mutual trust. Superman responded calmly. He reminded them of the lives preserved, the disasters prevented, the conflicts stopped before they could ignite. Some refused to meet his eyes. Then the atmosphere shifted. The gas was invisible, silent. Kryptonite seared through his lungs like molten iron. His strength evaporated in seconds. Red light flooded the chamber, pressing down on him like crushing gravity. Superman dropped to one knee, then both. The most powerful being on Earth collapsed before the people he had protected his entire existence. Panic erupted. Guards stormed in wearing armor designed for one singular purpose. Restraints snapped shut around his wrists. Cameras activated automatically. Somewhere, someone decided the world deserved to witness this. Superman did not resist. That made everything worse. A government officer stepped forward, trembling, clutching a weapon engineered to kill gods. Orders were shouted. Confusion consumed the room. Fear poisoned every decision made. The officer raised the weapon. Superman looked up. In that moment, he understood something he had refused to acknowledge for years. There was no trust remaining, no conversation remaining, no pathway back to what they had once been. The weapon discharged. Superman moved, not to escape, not to attack, to survive. The officer died. The sound echoed through the chamber like a final verdict. Silence followed, heavy, absolute. The world watched live as its greatest protector crossed a threshold no one believed he ever would. Some screamed, some cheered. Most could not look away. Superman stood there, restrained, weakened, staring at what he had done. The boundary was gone now, not because he wanted it erased, but because they had erased it for him. They acted swiftly after that. There was no trial, no deliberation. Fear does not pause for justice. Superman was sealed inside a containment vessel designed for extinction-level threats. Layers of lead enclosed him completely. Red sun radiation saturated the chamber. Kryptonite filtered through every breath he drew. They launched him into space before the world could fully comprehend what it had just witnessed. Earth convinced itself it was safe again. Superman drifted in darkness, powerless, in agony, alone. And the universe waited to see what would remain of him when the punishment concluded. Darkness did not feel empty. It felt crushing. Superman drifted inside the capsule with no awareness of time. Red sun radiation pressed against his skin like a constant burden. Every breath brought pain. His heart beat slower than it ever had before, struggling to maintain rhythm. The strength that once moved continents was gone, stripped away layer by layer. For the first time since childhood, he felt small. A cold voice shattered the silence. Not human, not compassionate. Kal-El of Krypton, you have been classified as an existential threat. Your elimination has been authorized by unanimous consensus. There was no anger in the voice, no hatred, only procedure. The capsule shuddered violently as it tore through space. Superman closed his eyes. Images flooded his mind. Metropolis at sunrise. The sound of wind rushing past him during flight. Faces he had saved. Names he would never learn. And the face of the man he had killed. The capsule screamed as it pierced atmosphere. Metal twisted. Systems failed. Impact came like the ending of everything. The restraints released with a sharp hiss. The door blew outward. Harsh red light flooded inward. Superman crawled out onto cracked, blood-red ground beneath a burning crimson sky. The air scorched his lungs with every breath. Gravity crushed him downward, demanding effort simply to stand. His body trembled, weak and unsteady. This was not Earth. This was a prison. The red sun never blinked. It drained him constantly, leaving no space for recovery. Cuts formed on his skin from the atmosphere itself. Pain settled into his bones and refused to leave. Something roared in the distance. Not an animal sound. Something aware. Something hunting. Superman forced himself upright regardless. Every step felt earned. Every breath felt borrowed. His powers were gone entirely. No strength beyond muscle. No invulnerability. No flight. Just determination. The ground shifted beneath his feet, alive in ways it should not be. Jagged rocks rose like shattered teeth. The sky glowed like an open wound. A shadow moved, fast, watching. The realization struck him slowly and then all at once. They had not imprisoned him. They had sentenced him. The creature attacked without warning. It slammed into him with enough force to shatter stone. Superman rolled across the ground, pain exploding through his body. He barely avoided claws that could tear through steel. No heat vision, no strength to fight back, only instinct. He grabbed a shard of rock and drove it into the creature's eye. The scream that followed shook the atmosphere itself. Black blood spilled across the red soil. The beast staggered, wounded but breathing. Another roar followed. More were coming. Superman ran. His lungs burned. His legs screamed. He tripped, fell, rose again. Survival had replaced heroism, not because he wanted it to, but because this world demanded it. A spear flew past his head and struck one of the creatures clean through the skull. The body collapsed. Figures emerged from behind the rocks. Dozens of them, different shapes, different species, all scarred, all watching him carefully, not with fear, with judgment. One stepped forward, tall and thin, armor cracked and ancient. "You shouldn't be alive," the alien said. Superman wiped blood from his mouth. "I've heard that before." They did not welcome him. They did not threaten him. They took him with them the same way you handle something dangerous. Carefully, cautiously. Their settlement was carved into a canyon wall, hidden from the sky. Shelters built from wrecked ships and monster bones. Fires burned blue, giving heat without light. This world was a dumping ground. Warlords, assassins, beasts, heroes too dangerous to keep alive. Everyone here had been discarded. Superman learned quickly. Mercy was weakness here. Killing was currency. Trust was a lie that got you killed. He broke every rule. When attacks came, he fought to disable, not destroy. When wounded enemies were left behind, he carried them back. When food ran short, he ate last. They thought he was insane. Then they started watching him. Days passed. Weeks followed. His body adapted to pain, if not power. Scars replaced healing. The chains still hanging from his wrists became tools, weapons, reminders. Story spread. A man under a red sun who refused to become a monster. That story reached the ruler of the planet. High above, in a fortress constructed from bone and metal, the tyrant observed Superman through countless screens. He had broken legends for centuries. Hope was a disease he cured personally. This one concerned him. Release the hunters, he ordered. The night screamed. Ships descended from the sky, cutting through red clouds. Creatures poured out, trained, smarter than natural predators. This was not survival. This was punishment. Superman stood at the front of the settlement as shadows closed around them. "We should flee," someone whispered. He shook his head. They won't stop. The hunters attacked. Chaos erupted. Superman moved like a shield, not a weapon. He absorbed blows meant for others. Blood soaked into the dust. Bones cracked. Still he stood, and something shifted. The others fought harder, together. By dawn, the canyon was silent. Hunters lay broken across the ground. Superman collapsed. They gathered around him. No cheers, no celebration, just understanding. On a world built to break monsters, a man had become something far more dangerous, a symbol, and the tyrant had noticed. Pain became routine. Superman woke every day already hurting. Bruises never faded before new ones formed. Cuts stayed open longer than they should have. His body felt heavier under the red sun, like the planet itself was pushing him down, testing how much he could endure before breaking. He never complained. That silence transformed the settlement. Fights that once ended in death now ended in restraint. Prisoners who survived alone for years began moving together. Weapons made only for killing were reshaped into tools for defense. Slowly, against the nature of the planet, something fragile emerged. Trust. Not everyone accepted it. Some whispered that Superman was weak. Others said he was merely another tyrant, waiting to reveal his true nature. On this world, hope was dangerous. It made people careless. It made them believe tomorrow could be different. Superman understood that fear better than anyone. He did not promise freedom. He did not speak of escape. He only appeared when things went wrong. When raids came, he was there. When someone collapsed from exhaustion, he carried them. When rival groups nearly killed each other over food, he stepped between them and absorbed the blows himself. The story spread. Across blood-soaked lands and broken arenas, people whispered about the man without powers who refused to kill. They began calling him the man without the cape. The ruler of the planet stopped smiling. Traps appeared in places Superman frequented. Floors collapsed without warning. Hunting zones were filled with creatures trained to sense him. Snipers fired from impossible distances, aiming not to kill him, but the people surrounding him. The message was clear. Choose your morals or choose their lives. Superman never hesitated. He walked into every trap. His body became a map of scars, burns, fractures, wounds he treated himself because no one else knew how. He never blamed anyone. He never asked them to stop following him. That scared them more than anger ever could. One night, the sky changed. The red sun dimmed slightly, like a dying flame struggling to stay lit. The air crackled with unfamiliar energy. Superman felt something stir inside him. Not strength, not power, possibility. He ignored it. The attack came at dawn. Warriors descended from the sky, not hunters, not beasts, but champions. Each one designed to destroy legends. They tore through defenses with ease. Bone walls shattered. Fires died. Screams filled the canyon. Superman ran toward the sound. He fought like a man who had already accepted death. Chains swung. Broken weapons shattered. He used his body as a shield, blocking strikes meant for others. A blade shattered his arm. He screamed. He did not fall. He stood between the champions and the entrance to the settlement, blood soaking into the ground. Blow after blow landed. Bones cracked. Vision blurred. The champions hesitated. They had never seen prey refuse to break. That hesitation was enough. The prisoners surged forward together, not as warriors, as people protecting something they believed in. Overwhelmed, the champions retreated. Superman collapsed. They thought he was dead. They gathered around him in silence. No cheers. No victory cries. Then he breathed. Weak, shallow, alive. They carried him into the deepest chamber of the canyon. Fever burned through him for days. His body fought itself, pushed to a limit it had never known. During one of those moments, the red light shifted. Blue. Just for a second. His eyes snapped open. Power rushed through him like a memory trying to awaken. Not enough to fly. Not enough to lift mountains. Enough to heal. Enough to survive. When he woke fully, they stared at him like he had returned from death. You should have broken, someone whispered. Superman sat up slowly. I know. That night he spoke. Not as a leader. Not as a god. As a man. I won't ask you to follow me, he said. I won't ask you to fight. This world survives on fear. If we keep feeding it, it wins. Silence followed. Then one by one, they stepped forward. Not soldiers. Believers. High above, the ruler watched the feeds with growing rage. The red sun shift had not gone unnoticed. He's adapting, the tyrant growled. No, his advisor replied. He's inspiring. The ruler crushed the console beneath his hand. Prepare the arena, he ordered. If he wants to be a symbol, we will make him an example. Deep beneath the planet, ancient machines awakened. A structure older than the prison itself began to rise. Metal screamed as it tore free from the ground. The arena of judgment, a place where legends were erased. Superman stood beneath the red sky and felt the faint pulse of power still moving through him. He knew what was coming, and for the first time since Earth betrayed him, he smiled. The ground shook as the arena rose. Metal and bone tore free from beneath the planet's surface, dragged upward by ancient machines that screamed as they worked. Towers circled the structure, packed with spectators drawn by a single promise. Only one would leave alive. The red sun burned overhead, weaker now, flickering like it was struggling to maintain control. Superman felt the moment he stepped onto the cracked stone floor. Not strength, not flight, potential. The ruler of the planet appeared above them, seated on a throne built from the remains of fallen champions. His presence bent the air. Silence spread across the arena. "Kal-El of Krypton," he said, his voice echoing. "You have disrupted the balance of this world." Superman looked up calmly. This world never had balance. Laughter rolled through the stands. The ruler's eyes narrowed. "You will fight," he said. "You will kill. Or everyone you've inspired will die screaming." The gates opened. The first challenger charged without hesitation, a mass of muscle and fury. Red sun technology pulsed across its skin. Superman met it head-on. The impact rattled the arena. He fought deliberately. Every movement was chosen. He avoided killing blows. The creature fell unconscious instead of dead. The crowd roared in anger. The ruler frowned. The second challenger was faster, smarter. Blades burned with energy that tore through flesh. Superman absorbed the hits, blood splashing across the stone. Pain slowed him. Still, he refused to cross the line. The red sun dimmed further. Between rounds, Superman dropped to one knee. His chest burned. His body screamed for rest. He felt something pushing back against the red light, small but growing. Hope had weight. The final gate opened. The ruler descended into the arena. Silence swallowed the crowd. This was not punishment anymore. This was execution. The ruler moved like a mountain. Each strike cratered the ground. Superman was thrown across the arena, smashing into a pillar that shattered on impact. "Look at you," the ruler mocked. "A god reduced to bleeding." Superman wiped his mouth. A god wouldn't care. They clashed again. Superman dodged just enough to survive. He fought with memory, training, instinct. Every hit he took was real. Every breath hurt. The ruler laughed as he landed a crushing blow to Superman's chest. Something cracked. Superman gasped, falling to one knee. The red sun flickered. Blue light spilled through cracks in the sky. The crowd gasped. Power rushed through Superman like breath after drowning. Bones knit. Muscles strengthened. Not full power. Enough. He stood. The ruler's laughter died. They fought again. This time, the ground broke beneath them. Superman matched the ruler blow for blow. He did not rage. He did not hate. He refused to kill. "You think mercy makes you strong," the ruler roared. "No," Superman said, gripping his arm. "Choice does." With a final effort, he slammed the ruler into the arena floor and pinned him there. Then he released him. Alive, defeated, spared. The arena froze. No cheers. No screams. Confusion spread like fire. The planet did not understand mercy. Above them, the red sun cracked. Ancient machines maintaining its control began to fail. Energy tore through the ruler's armor as systems collapsed. He screamed, not in pain, in fear. Superman looked up. The planet was breaking. He had seconds to decide: escape or save everyone. He turned away from the ruler and ran. Power surged as he tore through the control spire, ripping out the core that fed the red sun. The sky shifted. True light poured through. Superman fell to one knee, drained, breathing hard. The chains were gone. The prison was broken. Hope stood where fear once ruled. And far away, Earth felt it. The planet did not explode. That surprised everyone. Instead, it transformed. The red sun faded into a weak ember as the ancient machines failed one by one. Gravity softened. The air cleared. Creatures that had hunted for centuries stopped, confused, no longer driven by the constant pressure to kill or be killed. For the first time, the prison was quiet. Superman stood at the highest point of the broken spire. His cape was torn. His body ached. Power flowed through him again, steady and controlled, no longer overwhelming. He looked down at the thousands gathered below. Warlords, prisoners, monsters, survivors. They waited, not for orders, for permission. Superman did not give it. "This world doesn't need another ruler," he said, his voice carrying across the plains. "It needs a choice. He turned away from them. Some followed, some stayed, some knelt, some walked in the opposite direction. That was enough. The planet would decide its own future. Superman took a ship from the fallen fleet, a vessel built for war, now used for return. As it left the atmosphere, he looked back once. No throne, no chains, only change. The moment he entered Earth's solar system, alarms sounded worldwide. Satellites locked onto him. Emergency systems activated. Missiles armed but not launched. Leaders argued. Generals shouted. Some prayed. Superman flew straight through it all. He landed in the center of the United Nations Plaza. No armor, no anger, no threat. Just Superman. Soldiers raised weapons with shaking hands. Cameras rolled. Drones hovered overhead. The world held its breath. "You were afraid," Superman said calmly. "I understand that." Murmurs spread through the crowd. "But fear makes choices for us," he continued. "And those choices have consequences." A representative stepped forward, voice trembling. "You killed one of ours." "Yes," Superman said. He did not look away. "Because the moment you decided I was not allowed to exist, the rules changed." Silence followed. "I could destroy you," he said. "I could rule you. I could disappear forever." He paused. "I choose none of those." He told them everything. The prison, the planet, the ruler, the mercy he showed when killing would have been easier. He spoke of the beings left behind, now free to choose who they wanted to become. "And now," he said, "I have a choice too." The world waited. "I won't be your weapon," Superman said. "I won't be your God, and I won't ask permission to do what's right." He stepped back. "If you need me, I'll come. If you fear me, I'll keep my distance." He rose into the sky. No cheers followed. No applause. Only silence. Days passed. Disasters happened. An earthquake shook the Pacific. A reactor failed in Europe. A storm threatened millions. Superman did not appear. People waited. Then something unexpected happened. Rescue teams moved faster. Nations cooperated. Ordinary people helped each other. Firefighters entered collapsing buildings without waiting. Doctors worked without sleep. Volunteers filled streets. Hope did not fall from the sky. It rose from the ground. When the storm reached its worst, when lives hung in the balance, Superman appeared. Not above them, with them. Months later, the world was different. So was he. He no longer hovered like a warning in the clouds. He walked streets. He listened. He helped when needed, not because he was feared, but because he was trusted. High above Earth, a quiet mark remained in space where he had once been chained and sent away. Not a threat, a reminder. A god was arrested. A monster was expected. But a hero was reborn.